Okay, so I'm making a new episode on Bible Man, mainly because I ran out of ideas, and I had so much fun making the last episode on Bible Man. So without further ado, let's see what Bible Man's been up to. Okay, so the episode opens with Bible Man's psychic Cypher scoping out these guys in a warehouse who are stealing Bibles. I mean, yeah, it's really cliche, but whatever. But you can tell they're stealing Bibles because it has Bible written on every single box. Don't know why that's necessary. I mean, they could have just told me it's full of Bibles and I would have believed it. But that's not the main issue with this scene. My main issue is that he's up in the corner like he's Batman, like he's blending in with the shadows, he's camouflaged. But there's one key problem, and that is he's wearing reflective shoulder pads.
Get the fuck down from there! What the fuck are you looking at? Don't fucking run away from me!
Anyway, Cypher then makes his big entrance with a Bible verse. Obviously, this show is called Bible Man after all.
God says you must not steal. Deuteronomy 5:19.
Can't say I missed this show's dialogue. Can't say I missed this show at all, really. It's awful. Anyway, after beating up some guys who are wielding some bargain store plasma weapons that definitely aren't water pistols painted with bright colours, two of the people just straight up die. Like, I'm not joking. One's disintegrated and one turns into a green mass of farts.
Where'd he go? You can't get away with this!
I just stopped 3 men who were attempting to steal Bibles.
Yeah, you also failed to report that 2 of them stopped living. There's a rather large discernment between, deceased and apprehended. And we're then introduced to the villain of the story, the wacky protester, whose evil plan is to make a beam that turns children into atheists. He's also capable of creating his own dimension, which sounds really cool, but it really is truly frightening. But more on that later on.
My goodness.
Trust me, what lies beyond that portal is one of the scariest things I've ever witnessed in any of these movies, or in my life, really, to be honest. I won't spoil it, but trust me, it gave me some fearsome nightmares. Anyway, there's a big reveal in that Miles Peterson, the original Bible Man, has stepped down.
How do you like being retired? Yeah? So, what's going on, man? Minus the Bible?
And there's a new Bible Man called Josh Carpenter. I mentioned it briefly in my last video, I think.
Special skills, martial arts, self-defense, and cooking?
Work history. Children's pastor, counselor, security guard at Toys R Us.
So he trained in martial arts to become a security guard at Toys R Us. Is that why they shut down? Was he just fucking body slamming all the children who ate the pick and mix without paying? Anyway, we then meet Josh Carpenter himself.
The new Bible Man.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Josh. I am here to serve.
So am I, Eunice.
Okay, so I'd actually have more to say on the characters here, but I was actually more distracted by that plane that Eunice is showing. See, in this show they have Bible-themed vehicles, like they have Bible-themed motorbikes and even F-15 jet fighters, and that plane's an A-10 military jet. Now, I don't know why a group of people that are trying to help people believe in God would need military-level jets.
Great firepower is the A-10 specialty. The Warthog is basically a gun with an airplane attached.
It's effective enough to kill armored vehicles, tanks, armored personnel carriers. It's 21 feet long. It's the heaviest gun, automatic cannon mounted on aircraft. It weighs more than 4,000 pounds when it's fully loaded.
Anyway, we then pick up on the villain of the show having an identity crisis, so he wants to change his name to Rotten Guy, but he pronounces it Roton Guy.
I'm gonna change my name to Roton Gee.
And I don't know what the budget for this show was, because that costume looks like they went to the nearest bargain store with 10 quid and said, oh yeah, no, that'll do. A zebra suit and a picnic blanket on my head. Following this, we then see the Bible team at a press conference.
Good evening, citizens.
You notice how those camera flashes come out of nowhere? Why even add them? There's obviously no one with a camera there. yet there's camera flashes and camera sound effects. Also, why is that suit so bright? I know he wants to be the centre of attention, but that thing is searing the eyes of any poor child who bears witness to it.
It is my privilege to introduce to you the new Bible Man.
So after picking up with the villain for a bit...
Who's my latest target?
Their names are Gabriel and Olivia Phillips.
we see a room full of kids doing, surprise, surprise, a Bible-themed quiz.
One last question for the day, and it's worth 10 points.
I mean, what did you really expect? If you expected anything else, you only have yourself to blame because this show is called Bible Man.
On what day did God create the sun and the moon and the planets?
The second day? No.
Wake me up! Wake me up!
Letting the entire team down right there. We then pick up with the villain again, talking to some people at school. I think these are the parents of the kids we saw doing the quiz. And why is this man talking so casually to this guy?
Hey, how you doing there? Good to see ya. Here to pick up your kids from Vacation Bible School?
No. Yes.
You know, isn't it great how they're just teaching kids about faith and God?
Not only did he charge into school on a BMX, he's got a moustache which is clearly drawn on in pen, and he's wearing zebra-themed clothing. Is nothing strange occurring here? Trust me, this guy will regret it later on. Anyway, we then see him solid snaking his way around a school. In search for the kids from before, and robs away their faith. No one saw anything, huh? Like, we actually see the kids' parents looking for them later on, and not a single person saw anything. Anyway, we then get a message from the worried parents to the Bible team that their children are missing. However, what's weird to me is that both parties seem more concerned that the children lost their faith in God.
But today, they both said they had doubts, that they didn't believe in God or the Bible.
It could just be a phase they're going through, or maybe it's just kids being kids.
I mean, I'd personally be a bit more worried by the fact they were abducted by a man called Ruton Gee in full view of about 30 people. Also, is there no other line of defence here? Like, is every single crime just left to a man wearing a collapsed sun and a royalty-free lightsaber?
And I'll bet that's where Gabriel, Olivia, and the rest of the kids are. We need to go fight for their faith.
I mean, I would personally be angrier at the fact this guy has now apparently abducted 28 more children from the school and no one saw anything. After this, we're introduced to what is in that portal I was talking about earlier. And trust me, you're going to have nightmares for weeks. Good lord, I'm assuming that's one of the 7 levels of purgatory. That's genuinely terrifying. The only thing stopping it from being fear itself is the music, so give me 2 seconds, and I'll change that. There we go. Now I can rest assured I won't sleep for at least 3 days. Anyway, Bible Man and his backup dancers show up, and they go into the portal and free the victims.
Kids, don't go in there, it's a trap!
While Cypher stays back and deals with Ruton Gee.
My name is now Ruton Gee. The reason why is because look at you. You got new goggles, your haircut.
Now this is quite possibly the greatest thing I've ever seen. Just have a look at this. It is glorious.
All right, mister. You're about to get served. Show me what you've got.
Oh, brother. I only serve God.
Watch out there, pal. Make sure Cypher doesn't vaporise you like the guy at the start. So I'm going to end it here, because that is the peak of the episode right there. So that's the video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.